Hey everybody, this is Brandon Luna, and a couple of weeks ago we had an episode called A Very Special Love to Hate, where we had a couple of guest stars, Brad Fisher and Brian McGee. That episode was very cigar-centric, and because, it's a bunch of cigar guys sitting around talking about cigars, it went very, very long. Well, we ended up cutting about an hour of that episode out, and we decided there was a bunch of good stuff in there, so we wanted to provide that for you to listen to, as, just a thank you for listening to the show, and a little something extra while we're wrapping the year up, because we do have our year-end special coming next week, so this is just a holdover for that. So enjoy the outtakes from the Very Special Love to Hate. We'll call this one A Very Special Love to Hate, Part 2. Enjoy. Love to Hate, the podcast that asks the question, what do you love to hate?
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And I hate your ass face!
Do you love it?
No!
Do you hate it?
Oh, yeah! Yes!
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! I tart in your general direction!
No more foreplay.
The after show.
Then my wife suggests movies to go to, and the key to making sure I don't get trapped into a chick flick, as I always say, is there helicopters in it? If there's not helicopters in the movie, I will not go.
Right now I'm trying to think of a chick flick with a helicopter, and
There
it's
is
just like, wait.
There's not. The only one that comes close is the one with Whitney Houston, Bodyguard, but that was a plane.
You know what movie I
Wow,
saw?
no,
that
I just
turned
want
out-
to go to the fact that he watched The Bodyguard. Anyway, you were saying
That was with my ex-wife.
Whatever.
I was in shackles.
whatever.
The movie I saw that turned out to be a chick flick was The Village.
The
By
Village.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
That was a chick flick?
At the end of the movie, I stood up and like, my God, this was a chick flick. I want my money back. Sweet Jesus. I was pissed. It was a chick flick.
Wow, I haven't seen it, but now
Don't.
I wasn't
Fair,
going
yeah.
to, but
It's
now I'm
horrible.
Yeah, we were in AT&T, all of a sudden this guy talked us into getting rid of whatever cable we had, Verizon. And he goes, it gets all the good channels. And I go, does it get Hallmark Channel? He goes, yeah. Of course he tells me, yes, of course
You
it
get
does.
Lifetime?
I'm like, we don't want it. Like, slap!
that you could become diabetic watching that. Because now it's going to be all a bunch of Christmas movies.
Oh,
And it's gonna have this guy in it who's really kind of misunderstood, and
And he's
he
new to
really,
town.
Yeah, he's new in town, and he really can't admit his feelings to the girl, and she really doesn't like him because she thinks he's a cad.
She's already engaged to a real
Oh,
mean
that's
guy.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That he's a big
And she
exec.
doesn't see it, but all her friends do.
That's right. He's a big exec, and he makes lots of money. And this guy comes to town, opened up a puppy store.
Yes.
And there's going to be a very
Yeah.
awkward
No,
scene
but it's
between the
only
two
a
of them
puppy store.
where they almost kiss and then no.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the kid comes in and says something and messes it up
Yeah.
or whatever.
And then they're all for some reason at a public event, like I don't know, big party. The mean guy, fiance is there, and the guy with the puppy store is there, and the guy with the puppy store decides to close the deal and get. Excuse me, I want to make an announcement, and he proposes to her in front of everybody. So
guy.
she's got to lock it down. She can't
Right.
embarrass him. So she says yes. The guy with the puppy store decides to sell all the puppies. He's going to leave town.
Right. Puppy sale.
And then,
euthanizes them all.
It's gone from Hallmark to Lifetime now.
and then as he's going to the airport or the train station, some
Wise old man.
He leaves because he's upset.
Right,
But then
there
the guy who was doing a talk, he was speaking or something, left his mic on, goes to the bathroom and hits on somebody, and he gets caught. So she kills.
And now she knows he's gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's in the bathroom hitting on somebody,
Right.
unless he went to the
Blowing
women's
some
room.
dude. Yeah. So
Why did he go to the women's room? That's,
inevitably, there is some elder at the last 5 minutes of the movie. who's
Wise
been
old
there-
sage.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's been there 2 hours.
Right.
The fucker's been there 2 hours, and now he speaks up. I
Right.
think he really loves you. You think so?
He's
Yes,
at
you
the
should-
train station. You should go catch him.
Yeah. Just before he gets, Charlie, when the music lights up.
He's
and-
getting on. He's like, what?
yeah. And of course, the taxi has a flat or something, so
And then
she
you get the
almost
slow
doesn't
mo
get there.
run of them running together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And then something
Roll
funny
credits.
happens.
Roll
Yes.
And then a helicopter flies in and kills them both. And that's why you had to see that movie.
Yes,
And then Brad's there. He's like, "That's perfect."
Airwolf.
Wow. I don't even think Jan Michael
Blue
Vincent
Thunder.
could get a job on the Hallmark Channel these days, unless it was the wise old sage.
Right.
I remember one episode
Too many
where
drugs.
the guy had lost his memory, so he couldn't remember the the relationship or the woman. She bumped his head or something.
Regarding Henry.
Ah,
The Notebook.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But he, for some reason, as he was going through the divorce proceedings, he always managed to find his way from wherever he lived. I mean, he literally couldn't find anything. He couldn't remember stuff. Lost, hospital, drugs. I mean, but he always somehow made it from his place to the kids' birthday parties, to the store where she's working. And I was turned to my wife and go, I thought he couldn't remember shit. He had a 5-minute memory. How does he know how to get them?
Right.
Shut up! It's like Memento. He's writing it on his
Oh, yeah,
arm.
his tattoos.
Like, how do I
What a
get
great
out?
movie
This is
that
a-
was.
That
Hello.
was. You know what?
Margaret.
Parenting win. I'm at Half Price Books looking at movies, and I'm like grabbing it, and I'm like, I might get it. And my kid's like, oh, what is it? And I explained to her. She goes, yeah, I'd like to see that. Get it. Like, sweet. My kid wants to watch Memento. So that makes up for some of the crappy TV she watches. But
Yeah.
I got her watching 24 now. She
Nice.
hates Kim Bauer with a passion. She's like,
Everybody
she may be-
does.
She's like, she is the dumbest fucking character. And I'm like, good use of the word fuck, dear.
Yeah. Nice tits though.
I'm a great. She didn't say that. Yeah.
So
But other than
makes
that,
up
I'm
for a
pretty
lot
much
of shit.
stepped out of the year. Who needs those channels? I don't.
Then Lifetime, Hallmark.
Oxygen.
When I
Oh,
walk,
God.
I walk through the room and I
Wee.
see that little icon on the bottom corner. I'm like, fuck. Because you want to spend the night, the weekend, sitting with your wife and watching TV, but I can't. I mean, it's just like watching somebody puke. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't stand it anymore. It's like, oh,
I'm
in
lucky
slow
enough that
motion.
mine is addicted to anything where someone gets killed and they got to figure it out, like Criminal Minds or
She does that
CSI.
too.
Yeah.
She watches all that.
That's
But that's
stuff.
better.
yeah, oh yeah. That's
You know.
But for some reason on the weekends, it's just this marathon of mush. Oh,
I got my kid watching. She's watching because my wife and I don't watch TV in the same room or live on the same floor. But anyway, so my kid
seriously.
and I are watching. I've got her watching
have that new Connecticut?
all the.
No, I was hoping he had
Super-
them.
What do you need?
Crap.
I was hoping you had the new Connecticut here.
The Illuminati or
No.
whatever it's called.
Luminosa.
No, it
Luminosa,
hasn't come
sorry.
in yet.
Luminosa by Crown Heads.
Luminosa by
I
Crown.
get another
That's
one,
what
yay.
you. That's what you
It's
really
got
need. Is
Guaycon in it.
Oh, sweet. Now with Guaycon.
Now with extra
my
Guaycon.
God, yeah,
Is that a double Guaycon?
It's double Guaycon and double Agaro.
nice. Is that a Guaycon wrapper too, or just a binder?
And the tractor was red.
You know, and what's funny, we talk so much about the lighter mooch, and yet I've sat here the whole time using everybody's lighter, and I started mooching off of them because I'm like, shit, I don't have my lighter on me. So,
And you've got my pen too, for Christ's sake.
Oh, man.
and that honestly, I wouldn't steal a lighter, but I'd
borrow
steal
someone's
a
lighter?
pen.
You're everybody rolled in one right here.
I pretty much
You
am.
just said rolled, didn't you?
Oh,
Yeah, he pretty much did. See, and this is the fun that everybody misses. Yeah, it's it's one of those X car lighters.
X-car
We
later.
got the one we got the guy that stole lighters and colors, but I saw the most fascinating security footage the other day. The guy that stole cigars from your humidor, and this guy is in a humidor. He's walking around. And he takes one. And he puts them in his pocket, and there's an employee in the humidor stocking.
Wow.
Walks back, grabs another, puts in another pocket, makes a loop around the humidor, grabs some more, puts it inside jacket pocket.
Wow.
Makes another loop, grabs some more, puts in the other jacket pocket, outside jacket pockets, and then he takes them and he puts them in his breast pocket, so they're sticking out.
Wow.
He walks out of the humidor like this.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I know which guy you're talking about. Yeah.
Walks out with his hat right here so they wouldn't see it. But finally, the owner was about halfway through, was catching him.
He's you know where he got his
Yeah.
Got to start.
I mean, we used to have customers steal ashtrays. That we watched the security footage, and it'd be the only guy in the store, and one guy would be in the humidor up on the ladder, and you'd see him lean forward. Then he'd take the ashtray, dump it in the other one, stick it in his briefcase or whatever, and then he would get up to leave, and you see him go like this, and the guy on the ladder would lean back and go, "See you later." And it's a guy that's there every day that if you would have asked for it, you would have gave it to him.
Yeah, I never got the whole stealing the ashtray.
You know,
thing.
when I had my Joe jobs back, when I was a teenager, and you either took stuff or the guy said, "We're not using that shelving system anymore. You can take that home if you want." It doesn't fit in your house.
Right.
It looks like shit. So I mean, if I had a big, no offense to Paul, but a big La Polina ashtray in my house
Yeah.
or outside, it looked like, hey. which one of these things doesn't belong here? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You're saying it's too classy, or
Yeah. Thanks.
No,
I'm teeing them up. You just hit it.
I didn't mean to
Yeah,
dress up the
correct.
joint.
yeah? Brad and I will be here all week.
Seriously,
Try the
folks.
meal.
Now I got to get new furniture. Why am I always doing the?
I'm just saying, Crowned Heads has a pretty, pretty nice ashtray that you could have outside.
It doesn't break.
Yeah, that's true.
I got to load it.
Because you do get a lot of that.
Is that one of those metal ones or whatever? With
No,
No,
it's
it's-
kind of that.
Polymar or whatever. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's
It's,
plastic.
it's like better than plastic.
Polymer?
Polymer? What did I say? Polymar?
With Space Age.
I was right, though.
Oh, that was a group in the 80s.
Gosh, the
Polymer.
Space Age polar man
I
there.
could put out
Palomar.
my Comacho and my Palomar ashtray.
They should just make all the names. Yeah. Just
I
make all
like
the
the
names
rest of my
American.
Torinos in there.
You put the accent on the wrong syllable.
Hey, I'd like to get a box of KOs. You mean CAOs? Yeah, KOs. I'll tell you what. Here's a box. I will buy it for you. Show me the K. It's on me. Show me the K.
Well, because the C and the A make the K sound.
And then it was worse because you go, well, it's the owner's initials, Jono Arat Osner. They hear Jono. They're like, where's the J? I was like, no, it's CANO. And then they're like, well, where's the N? I'm like, no, his first name. Okay, here. Just go right here.
You're from North Dakota, aren't you?
It's like, sir, I can
Oh,
no
you're going to
longer
the big
sell
city,
you.
eh? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
in
just
good
south of
conscience.
Canada.
So they make cigars in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, right. They
Yes.
actually grow tobacco in Connecticut?
Yeah.
I want
It
to talk
takes
about
all
the
types.
724 factory in New Hampshire. And I said it was the largest cigar manufacturer in the early 1900s. And then you go through this whole spiel, and you get right to like, did you want to buy a cigar? And they go, is that factory still there? I was like, no. You're right. I'm never giving that pitch again.
Like, so at what point did you tap out and stop listening? Because next time you could just let me know.
He's thinking, I've flown over New Hampshire. I didn't see anything.
This good.
Yeah,
This Guayancan is good, man.
It's got lots of. It's like a Ligero.
That's not a guay don't. That's a guay can.
Nicely done. Yeah. I like that.
Well played.
Well played. I got a golf clap for that one.
Yeah. Some of the size names, that's where it gets me. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
just call it a fucking Toro, please.
Yeah.
So that when I order, I can say, can I have a Toro? Or
What are
can
they?
I order some fucking Toros? So instead of this, I have to give
Toro?
it this totally different name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We're guilty of that.
The
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Ours are bad. When Las Moraes came out, we have a size called Tuberia. The way it looked, I was Tubera. John's like, what'd you say? I said, Tubera? He goes, it's Tuberia. Say it. I'm like, Tuber.
Is my job dependent upon this
Tuberia.
pronunciation?
Yes.
Tuberia or not Tuberia?
Tibilladillo?
So for 30 minutes at the show, I'm walking around going, Tuberia. Tuberia.
You forget all the other names. You got that
the
one.
other buzz, my ultimate buzzkill at a Southern Draw event is veteran owned. Thank you for your service. I'm like, I'm not a veteran.
I'm not the owner.
It-
Why isn't Robert
it
here?
says veteran owned. It says it's owned. Not everybody employs as veteran. Sorry, buzzkill.
Buzzkill.
Do you guys have any jobs?
Yeah, are you guys hiring?
Does Robert?
Because I'm
think you're doing
veteran.
a good
Would you hire a
job? veteran? Because I
I
could
had a
stand
guy
around
call
and
me.
push cigars all day. This is easy.
I want to be a rep in Iowa for your company. Well, that's my territory. Oh. So I'm like, yeah, so it's my job.
Right.
Or I've had actually people go, I've asked Robert for a job. Right to my face, I'm like looking at him like, where'd you park your car?
Yeah, right?
Right.
Where'd I put my keys?
Give him the cigars with the metal shavings in them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I got some trick or treat cigars for you.
You know, I don't want to say anything, but the Cuban market's going to open up. You could be a Cuban cigar rep
Oh,
here in the
there you
States.
go.
There you
I
go.
would make some phone calls tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Start calling Cuba now.
Right.
Give
Wait
them
till
your-
the afternoon when the electricity is up.
Nah, just
Send them an email. See if they get it.
they may need your credit card number so that they can send you the cigars in your first paycheck. But just go ahead and give them your bank account number.
The cigar company you want to call is Atlantis.
I can never think of the one because apparently Mike Pence is good buddies with who's the company that owns R.J. Reynolds. What is it? Atria? I don't know. But apparently Pence has said that there's no proof that cigarette smoking kills. And so Pence is more...
Cigarettes don't kill. People do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That's true.
You got to make it flow with all the gun shit.
Yeah.
You can't be like hypocritical.
Well, let's be honest, cigarettes are cheaper than bullets. They jam the gun, but they are
Jam the
they are
gun.
cheaper. I guess they're cheaper than bullets. I don't know.
That's the other thing of Christmas lists. Back when I wasn't in the industry and I put cigars on my list, my relatives went to go buy me cigars that smoke cigarettes. So I think, you get a whole carton of cigarettes. What is that? $25?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They called me on the phone. What the fuck? One of these things is $8.
These are your ex-in-laws, right?
No,
Current
these
in-laws?
are current. These
Okay.
are current. I won't name any names. Oh,
Hi,
so
Mom and
tempted.
Dad.
It was so
So we'll get this man a drink.
Right.
Yeah, you do. There is that the price comparison. But I mean, look at the price of the stop smoking gum and patches compared to cigarettes and cigars. It's like you can't afford to quit smoking.
Right.
They just charge out the ass for that stuff.
They do.
I love the
They do.
dead spots. we need a little hockey arena organ.
Yeah. See, some shows rely on that on modern radio. They always have that background music, and I always think it's because they don't trust the jock enough
Right.
to pull through, or their voice sucks. Because you always used to have a good voice to be a jock or a decent
Right,
voice.
right.
Now you can just sound like shit.
True.
I'm not bitter.
Unless you're a chick and you gotta sound really smoky and sexy.
Oh, see, but they get the chick who sounds like Nina Blackwood after,
Nina.
Nina Black.
yeah.
This
After a
song
pack
goes
of-
out to the guys. Smoke date 12 packs of cigarettes a day.
Gargling roofing nails.
So, the worst. Okay, honest to God, this is a true story, and I hate to admit it. So I was on Match.com for a period of time.
Don't do it when they're on the period.
That's what the butt's for.
That's what the fuck's for.
Never really got that far on the Match profile, but
That should be your quote.
noted.
Philip Pullman. That's what the butt's for.
There you go. Gonna make
Those
some,
are
make
cotton
some
cigars are entirely different things.
make some bumper stickers like that. So anyway, and I don't know if I told you guys this story or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it again. So I'm talking to this guy. We're the same age, same likes, dislikes, music, things like that. She works for American Airlines. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, etc. So we talk for about 3-4 days. Then like, hey, how about I call you? We quit typing and we talk and maybe set up some coffee or something. So I get her number. I come home from work. I'm like, all right. Give her a call. Phone answers. Hello. So I forget her name, but I asked.
Sounds like the Howard's mom on the
Is she,
Right.
exactly.
Big Bang Theory.
Is what's her name available? This is she. Like, oh my God. And I was already in for that much, so I'm like, oh hey. So we talked for like 15 minutes. Yeah, and I'm expecting to hear. And she sucks down another cool, and
Newport.
yeah,
These filters get in the way.
Yeah, just bite them off.
I just bite them off.
I love the tar. Yeah, I never called her back. It's like, and her picture, she was cute.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? How many?
Did she have big tits?
Medium.
Yeah, see, if she would have had bigger tits, you would have forgot all about that.
Yeah, you want to.
No.
Really?
No.
Is that
Nothing
that
makes
disturbing?
me voice. I'm a very auditory person. Voice means a lot. So, yeah, there's no way. What are you going to do? You're going to take her out to dinner? Like, hey, maybe we go someplace else. Maybe we just go for coffee and meet at Starbucks.
I'll have the lobster.
Can I get a latte? I want a mocha latte with 2 shots. And, because then everybody's looking at you like, what the fuck? Where did he find her? Why is he with her?
Right.
Well, I hope that
She
she could be
fucks like
this
a tiger.
I felt that way when I went to Boston the first time. I worked for Converse for a little bit, and I got to go up to the corporate headquarters. And it's like being in the Twilight Zone because there's all these beautiful women everywhere until they open their mouths.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the car and get my sweat. I'll be right out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that coming from this 6-foot-tall blonde model
Yeah,
type?
right.
Like that makes no sense at all.
Can I get you something, honey?
Yeah.
Please never talk.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
My worst blind date ever.
Yeah.
I went to pick up this girl that met her on. A friend hooked me up when AOL first kind of became a thing, so we did the instant message chat. And it's like, all right, well, let's meet and go to dinner. So she sent me this pic. I guess it was her high school picture or something. I don't know. So she said, I live with 5 roommates. Come down the alley and pick me up in the back of the house. That should have been flag number 1.
Now, okay, I got to ask. The picture she sent, was it like her with the 5 roommates?
No,
it was just her. Okay.
Her by herself. So
because that could be tricky.
And all the fences come out to the end of the driveway, so you don't see anything until you physically turn in the driveway. She goes, count 8 down, and I'm the 8th house on the left. So I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Turn in, and there's this woman.
Massive woman.
No joke, no exaggeration, 400, 450.
Oh, fudge.
So at the time, I'm driving a
Maybe it's because
Tahoe.
she had to go out the garage door.
Yeah, that was probably it. Well, I hit the brakes. I'm like trying to get it to reverse, and I can't get it to go. And she, like, for a big woman, can move. She was in my truck. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? So I'm like, all right, let's go to dinner. Let's get this over with. I'm like, where would you like to go to eat?
Please, no.
You ready?
Yeah.
She goes, let's go to Sizzler. And I look at her and I said, Sizzler? I thought they were all out of business. She goes, no, the one up here on Josie is still
I keep
open.
them in business.
So I said, we can go wherever. We don't have to go to Sizzler. She goes, oh, no, I love Sizzler.
I've got my own place by the trough.
Oh, but wait.
There's more.
So I'm like, all right, we'll go to Sizzler. So I'm driving to Sizzler. Pull in. We walk in. They're like, hey, Karen, how you doing? Good to see. I'm like, they know her by her first name. So we sit down and we're eating. And you ever sit on an airplane, you look out the window and you're at the terminal, and the engine's there and they've got that marked off spot in front of the engine with all the, don't enter here.
Yeah.
That
No,
should have
this
been
is not a
around
step.
her plate. Because, like, I felt if my hand got too close, it would have went up in there.
Yeah.
Kind of like farm equipment.
She's like, just mowing food. And I'm like, I had a salad, so I'm just going to say that right now because I wanted this to be over with quick. So she gets done eating. She's literally got a toothpick picking her teeth.
Oh.
She goes, I hope I'm not being too forward,
Oh, my God.
but I got a room down at the Courtyard Marriott down the street
Wow.
with snacks in the room.
Like
And a
that
ba-
might have been the deal breaker.
And a
the
bag
whole
of
time
flour.
I'm thinking, how do I get out of this? And it hit me, which the excuse was true. I'm like, you know what? I would love to, but tomorrow's Mother's Day. I'm getting up early, taking my mom. We're going to church. I'm taking her to brunch, which I was.
But not that early.
So, yeah, but not that early. But I really, I want to get home, get some rest.
Ryan, why are you here at 5 a.m.?
So you keep peering out the curtains.
I'm driving her back to her house. I'm thinking, if she leans over,
You're dead.
I'm like, oh
If
my.
she
So
falls over.
as soon as I park, I would just put my hand out. I'm like, had a great time. Thank you. And then I'm just waiting. Does she walk around the front or she walk around? Because she walks around the back. I'm smoking my tires. Called my buddy and I was cussing. I'm like, what the mother? You are no longer a friend of mine. Hooking me up with, what the fuck were you thinking? Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. I was worst blind Sizzler.
Wow. Well, I
You're
mean,
taking the Fogo de Chao.
Oh, and she was smoking a
Wow.
cigarette in the driveway. So when she got in, the waft of Marlboro just wafted over me.
Nice.
I was like, oh.
you were talking about the toothpick. In El Paso, it was like a fancy restaurant,
No
Looking
dick
back,
jokes.
it's like, actually, it wasn't that fancy. But for a kid when you're 20 years old, you're thinking it's pretty fancy. And I really liked this gal. And I rented a limo because she had been out of town. And it's like, oh, we're going to go out. And I admire this girl. Like, man, maybe she's, maybe she's marriage material. So, how you have like the steak knife. There's the knife and then the steak knife. Dinner's done, having some coffee, and she had something in her teeth. And normally you wait and you leave and you get a toothpick. She got the steak knife. And it wasn't something like in any of your teeth up front. We're talking like a back molar. And she's got this steak knife wedged in the back of her mouth, digging, trying to get that piece of meat out. And I'm sitting here watching this and going, Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is
No,
over.
I couldn't marry this gal. Like,
You don't
I
want to
just
say, hey, you
can't-
got a little fluff on your beard.
I'm like, you understand? People could be watching this table right now. It's like, and you've got a knife. You're like digging for food at the table. Like, no, this is never going to work.
I used to be in the circus.
That would have been funny, actually.
Got anything longer? Well, as a matter of
In
fact,
fact,
I
you do.
But
There's a rash on it, though. Take a look real quick at him.
I think the
You
sword's
got ice
just
in the back of
away.
your throat? Check it out.
Wow.
It just scabbed over.
Is
Should
this-
be fine.
Is this the family show?
No, it's not a family show.
No.
I think the best story is your airplane ride story.
Oh.
See, now, as you were telling the story of your blind date, I had to wonder if that was karma. If, like, somewhere somebody's going, like, you know what? You weren't nice to the girl at Sizzler, so guess what, McGee?
I
You're
got
gonna
Diet
say-
Sprite.
You got Diet Sprite, gal. I think that's probably what it was. Go ahead and tell it, because everybody loves that story.
You got to put this on. This has got to be documented because it's the best fucking. Did I say fuck? Can I say fucking?
Yeah, we-
I
yeah,
said
that's on the
fucking. Best fucking story.
No more fudge from you.
Have
No,
you
no, no.
heard-
I don't think I've heard it.
All right.
You've not heard the Diet Sprite story?
No, I haven't heard that.
I have
Usually-
not told you the Diet Sprite story just because I want McGee to tell it, because nobody can do it justice.
No, okay.
It's
well,
the greatest story
I've
ever.
done like Cliff Notes versions of that story, and people are like, that's entertaining.
You'll see every once in a while. You'll see Clint Aaron or Fred Rui tag me and say Diet Sprite.
Oh,
This
yeah?
is what this is all about.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so this is the worst flight I've ever been on, type thing. So back when I worked in IT, I had off-site people that were under me in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So every 6 weeks, I'd fly to Pittsburgh for a week. So the people that booked, I didn't book my own travel. So the people that booked, instead of booking me on American, because we're based in Dallas, they booked me on Delta. So I had to go from Pittsburgh to Atlanta to Dallas. So I'm leaving Pittsburgh at like 8:30 at night. So this is late red-eye type crap. I get on the first plane, Pittsburgh to Atlanta. There's literally 13 people on the entire airplane, empty. So I'll go about halfway back. I sit in the middle seat because I'm going to take this whole row. There's nobody on the airplane. I'm going to lay down and go sleep on the way to Atlanta. Guy walks down the aisle and sits in the aisle seat right next to me. And I look at him. I go, seriously? He goes, I'm a flight attendant. I'm deadheading to Atlanta. I'm going to mess with them while they're doing their safety speech, and then I'll get up and move. And I'm like, still, this could have worked from the row in front or the row in back or the row next to me. So he pulls out the barf bags and he draws little pictures on them, little faces. So as they started the safety speech, he puts them up over the seat and does a little puppet show. So for about 5 seconds, that was funny. The rest of the time, I'm just sitting there waiting, like, come on. So they get done. The flight attendants sit down. They're strapped in. We're taxiing to the runway, and I'm looking at the guy like, seriously, dude. And he's just staring at me. So I grab my bag, I get up, I move 3 aisles. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I move back to another empty row. I lay down, we go to Atlanta. Get to Atlanta, I got 30 minutes to my next flight. I walk up to the ticket counter, and I hand him my ticket. I say, hey, do you guys got an empty row in the back? I want to lay down and sleep on the way. He goes, this flight's sold out, and you're the last one on the plane.
Oh.
So this is an old 727. I'm walking down the aisle, and I see the empty. I have an aisle seat. I see the empty seat, and I see what's in the middle seat, and it's 350, 400-pound woman, and then there's like a 12-year-old kid in the window seat. It's got all the he's
I was trying to show you the cool one.
oblivious. So when I sit down in the seat, I sit like this because she's that far into my seat. So my leg is pressed up against the recline seat, so I'm laying down. Mm-hmm. And they're, sir, you need to put your seat up. I'm like, I sit like this. I'm holding my leg off the button with my shoulders like this.
Oh my God.
And people walking and, hit me in the head and stuff like that. So right in this aisle seat, right next to me is this Asian guy. He's 110 pounds. I said, I've got $80 in my wallet. When we get to Dallas, I'll go to an ATM and you tell me the amount to take out. Will you trade places with me? He leans forward and goes, no. So I'm sitting like this, and they're doing their safety thing, and I'm now, so the AC, the air is not here. It's on the bulkhead. All three of them are over there. I can't reach them. So now I'm starting to sweat. I'm feeling the sweat go down my back. My legs are starting to cramp. My back is starting to cramp. And I'm trying to sit up straight so I don't lay down. So as soon as they hit power and we take off, I recline. I can't hold, so I'm laying there. So as we get up in the air and we level off, I scoot all the way to the edge of my seat. I put the tray down and I'm sitting halfway in the aisle like this. The drink cart comes. So I get a Coke and she orders a Diet Sprite. So immediately I'm giggling already. Now she's got a seatbelt extender on. This is, big woman. So I'm sitting there sipping, I'm eating peanuts and I'm sipping my Coke and I'm just, I
fucking hate my life.
I hate my life. I'm sweating. I'm cramping.
Crash this plane.
I could use some Midol right now. It's that bad. And I feel this tap on my shoulder. And I looked and she goes, "Excuse me, can I put my drink on your tray? I want to get my bag from under the seat in front of me."
Oh my God.
Now, I'm already sitting at the edge of my seat. All I could have done was gone like this and handed it to her. But I'm like, there is no way she can reach that bag. It's not going to happen. So I'm like, please, use my tray. It's all yours. So she puts her Diet Sprite on my tray, puts her tray up, and she starts going, like that, and I'm just watching. And and her fingers go like this. She just grabs and slips off. I'm like, "Oh, you almost had it." She's like, it's like playing Barrel of Monkeys. And then she goes, and I'm like, fuck this. So I stand up and I walk to the back of the plane and I stand by the shitters the rest of the flight. I'm like,
legally, ma'am, how long am I allowed to stay in the bathroom?
They're like,
is there a seatbelt on that toilet?
"Sir, you can't." I'm like, I am not going back to my seat. I am not sitting next to that. My back is cramping. I can't feel my legs. I'm sweating like a pig. Go look at what I'm sitting next to and then come back and tell me to go sit down. So I'm standing back there until they're descending and I have to go back and sit down. So again, I sit down. I keep reclining. They keep yelling at me. And we land, and we're literally 10 feet from parking at the terminal. So you're still, the seatbelt signs up. I undo my seatbelt, and I sprint to the front of the airplane. I'm going to be the first one off. I'm going to grab the first Delta guy I see, and I'm going to fucking yell at him. So they're like, "Sure, sit down, sit down." I'm like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm not sitting there anymore." Get off the airplane. I see a guy in a red jacket, and I grab him by his arm. I said, "You're going to stand here, and you're going to wait." I go, "Right there, right there. You have a back check. You should have an ass check. If your ass doesn't fit, you should be made to buy 2 seats." I had to sit next to that. I can't feel my back. My legs are numb. I'm sweating like it. He goes, "Sir, sir, sir." So I got a free round-trip ticket out of it. It still wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Wow.
I'd rather fly in comfort and pay for my own ticket.
I still have nightmares that, oh, so close.
Was there somebody sitting to the right of her?
At least you didn't have to go to Sizzler with her after.
Hey, you were so nice.
Can I take you to Sizzler?
I hope I'm not being too presumptuous, but I have a room at the hotel here at the airport.
I got a trough at the Sizzler. Let's go.
Got an airplane hangar.
That is the famous Diet Sprite story.
Yeah. I compare all flights to that. As bad as I hate air travel,
I mean, I'm sitting because when you fly, you play the game. You're sitting in your seat and you're looking over the seats and you see people getting on. You're like, keep walking, keep walking. Mm-hmm. Oh, please sit next to me. Please. Oh, yeah. No, keep walking, keep walking. So I'm sitting there on a flight, and I'm in MD-11. I'm on the 2-seat side, and this beautiful Greek goddess walks on the airplane. I'm like, "Dear sweet baby Jesus, please let her sit next to me." And I feel this tap. She's like, "I think I have the window seat." I'm like, "Thank you." So I stand up. She sits down, reaches up to turn the air on, and this afro appears from under her arm. And the smell of BO nearly knocks me out. I'm like, I can't catch a fucking break on an airplane. It's like, be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Last flight I took, I was on the two-seat side, and it was like, okay, nice guy next to me, not a big dude, doesn't take up a lot of leg room, so it's like, okay, we're gonna get along well during this flight. About halfway through it, he gets up, goes to the bathroom, never comes back. I was like, this is even better. I don't know where he sat because the plane was full, but I don't know, maybe he died in the bathroom, but he took his bag, so it was like, sweet, I guess he didn't like me. Maybe I'm somewhere he's telling a story on a podcast about, I just sit next to this fat dude. But it worked out because it was like, sweet, now I got all the leg room.
There you go.
Get out of my way. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to be wealthy enough to have like 14 houses or, a Porsche for every day. I would just like to fly business class.
Did that once. That was a treat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
That's the shit right there.
I upgraded the first class coming from the show one year because when you check in early, if the first class hadn't sold out on American, they'll say, do you want to upgrade for like $90 or whatever?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, it was a long show. It was back with CAO where we were there for 10 days.
Cal.
Excuse me, Cal. KO. And I'm like, I'm going to I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to upgrade myself to first class. I literally sit down and pass out and don't wake up until I didn't get to experience any of it other than I slept comfortably. I took a $90 nap is what I did.
That could be worth it.
I'm like, I'm going to have drinks. I'm going to do this.
My only airplane story is when I fly to go see my mom. There's these little commute jets up to Des Moines.
Oh.
And they're the one seat, two seat configuration. And I get in these planes and my head.
Yeah, you can't stand up.
And luckily for me, my head goes in strange places. There's this old couple sitting in the 2-seat right up front of the bulkhead, and I'm like, everybody's waiting. I'm waiting in line for people to move, and I'm like cramped over. I said, I always feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland in these things. And they laughed their asses off. Like, if it would have been anybody less old, they would have looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's my only airplane story. That's it. Everything else.
See, I've been on puddle jumpers like that, and the first time I took one, I remember the stewardess gets on board and addresses us because again, it's a puddle jump. It's like they don't need radios. It's like
Ron White.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
they say
Anybody want some snacks?
that was pretty much it.
One
And
bag of Cheetos.
they mentioned that whoever had the golf clubs that they were had underneath, that they were going to ship them ahead because they put us overweight. And I'm sitting there thinking, the hell, a bag of golf clubs?
We're that close?
How safe is this?
See the
And then the
yanking on that yoke.
Come on! We can do it. And then I swear to God, the pilot was chewing gum, and that just bugged the hell out of me because he was actively chewing the gum. It wasn't like he had gum and was chewing. He was like going at it. He was enjoying the gum.
Great day to fly.
Yeah. And it's like nothing makes somebody look dumber than when they're just really chawing down on that gum.
Yeah,
and that's what he was doing.
That's definitely an IQ lower.
One and one of the other times I flew one, a buddy picks me up. I'm at the hotel bar, and I actually the crew of this puddle jumper was at the same hotel. So I'm at the bar with the pilot and the junior pilot, whatever. Co-pilot, I guess. I don't know what they call them on those planes. And my buddy walks up, he goes, hey, how was the puddle jumper? The pilot does this slow turn on the bar stool. He goes, sir, I will have you know that is a sophisticated piece of avionic equipment. And at that point, I just left it, and my buddy got stuck for 30 minutes having to listen to the pilot explain this. I was like, screw that, man. I'm ordering. You guys still have the happy hour nachos?
They're not puddle jumpers. They're called regional jets.
Regional jets.
Yes.
Okay.
Anytime there's a curtain.
They're regional pilots.
Now, I'm sure they don't have curtains now because,
That's some politically correct
9/11.
bullshit right there. Yeah.
At the time, it was a curtain. It's like, wow, you guys just, somebody got to get out and push. I mean,
I got on a flight back from Arizona last time I was coming back from Arizona. And you always, the two people you don't want to sit next to you are the fat. I'm fat, but the fatter person than me,
right?
And the kid.
And
I got 2 rows of kids in front of me, and the one guy next to me with his kid. Now he didn't want to give the kid the window seat. He's like, "No, you can't have the window seat." I'm like, "Let the kid have the window seat. That way, I'm not sitting next to the kid."
Right.
No, she can't have the window seat. She goes crazy. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So we're starting to take off. Plane's full. Kids are all going crazy, making all this noise and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get to sleep on this flight. The kid starts to fall asleep, leaning on me. I push the kid back. Leaning on me, push the kid back. Push the kid back one time. Leg goes up right in the crotch. Oh! Right in the fucking. I was like, I'm leaning up against the thing. I undo my belt. I'm just like, trying to hold it in, trying not to vomit on this child next to me. And the woman's like, are you okay? I'm like, I just got kicked out by this kid.
Right, the tenders.
She's like, would you like a
do we
drink?
land?
I'm like, I would like 5 drinks, please. So she brought me out like a bunch of Bloody Marys. I'm like, all right, so I'll take a kick in the nuts for like 5 Bloody Marys.
Do you have a bag of ice?
Well, now we know the price.
You got any frozen peas back there?
I asked the flight attendant once. I'm like, on American, you used to say you must fasten seatbelt while you're seated. It's like must fasten. You mean like repeatedly? It's like it doesn't say must keep it fastened. It says must fasten. So it's like, wait, I got to sit here the whole time doing this?
I'm getting worn out.
She wasn't. Yeah, there was no air marshal call, but she was clearly not amused. Like, come on, lady, I'm trying to add levity. This sucks.
This is a very sophisticated piece of
avionic equipment. Yeah. You remember when they used to let kids fly alone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the meter on the other end. They had a little
Yeah.
tag on it.
They still do that.
Do they?
Yeah, they still. Now they'll give the parents a pass to go with them to the terminal, even though they don't have a ticket. They'll get a pass to go in. A flight attendant will take the kid from the terminal into the plane, and then when they land, there'll be somebody that will take them off the plane and escort them through to whoever's waiting for them. Yeah, they still do that.
Huh.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, y'all's podcast about flying. I'm like, no, you got to do that. No,
I
Early bird,
really
early bird.
didn't want to tell your story about it because it's like I'll screw it up. But you know the thing I talked about on how to load the planes.
Yeah.
Last flight I took, I asked 2 of the flight attendants at the same time. I said, "Why don't you guys load from the back forward and from windows in?" She said, "Because corporate and they're stupid." And I'm like,
They
Gotcha.
used to load like it used to be
rear forward.
rear forward. They would
Yeah.
That's how they used to load
but now you're that premium
because they don't
Right.
want to lose the overhead. That's
Yeah.
why they
Yeah.
want to get on first, so they don't lose the overhead bend. They don't want anything in front of their feet.
Which I get, but it's again the whole overhead thing. That need to look at that because that stuff is not fit. It's like, no, you brought 3 bags. Those are 3 full bags. That's not
Yeah.
like 2 carry-ons and like a purse. No,
you know who
you've got-
does a great stand up on flying is Brian Regan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His thing on flying, he goes, they start. All right, we're starting boarding. Group 1, if you'll stand up and orderly walk to the terminal. By the time it leaves that, it gets us. Get on the plane. Get on the plane now. This is the last chopper out of Vietnam. Get on. Get on.
Please just get on the plane.
Or the pilot says, we're number 19 to take off. I say we're number 1. Going through the grass.
You know, why can't they turn on the air while you're waiting in line? It's like, why do we have to be airborne for you to give me some air? Because it's fucking sweaty
No, it's
in here.
on. It's on. It's just hadn't.
The APU can't keep up.
Yeah.
See, this is
When
the
they
stuff I
disconnect
don't
ground
know.
power, so when you're at the terminal, they have what's called an APU running, which is a engine that's in the back tail of the plane.
Okay.
That has a generator, so that's running the whole time they're boarding. So when they turn that off and you start pushing back, that's when they start spooling the engines.
Gotcha.
Once those engines are spooled up, everything starts working again, but it's got to catch back up.
Gotcha.
So from there to the runway, you're getting hot again, and then by the time you're airborne, it's caught up and it's starting to cool again.
Okay. All right, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
That
Heard it.
works.
What's that stand-up guy? Who's the guy who does It's a Small World, but I wouldn't want to paint it?
Huh?
What's that cat? Does all those little dry one-liners.
Stephen Wright?
Stephen Wright.
I have a neighbor who's a mime. Put on a blank tape and turned it up really loud. Do you know Roberto Benigni, the guy who did Life is Beautiful?
Yeah.
Very hyper, There's a movie called Coffee and Cigarettes. Weird art flick, not for everybody, but there's a scene with Roberto Benigni and Stephen Wright, which is just like the greatest dichotomy. And Stephen Wright's just like, oh man, I'd love to stay, but I got to go to the dentist. You got to go to the dentist. I would love to go. I go for you. He's like, you'd go to the dentist for me? I would love to, sir. He gives him the card. He goes, I get teeth cleaned for you. And they're just watching these two. It's like one's almost dead. The other one is just spazzing out. It's like, this is fantastic.
I got an I go for you joke.
And I go for you?
2 drunks at a bar.
Okay.
Really pretty hammered. One guy says to the other, I got to take a piss. And the other guy goes, go for me too, eh? He goes, sure. Gets off his stool. He's gone for a little while. Comes back on the stool. He goes, well, did you go for me? He goes, oh, I forgot. Gets back off his stool. He's gone for a little while. Comes back, sits up on the stool. Guy says, well, he goes, you didn't have to go.
Okay, I'm stealing that one. I am absolutely stealing that one. No, the one I heard, the guy, the drunk's all upset because he threw up all over his shirt, and he's telling the bartender, he's like, "Oh man, my wife's gonna be so pissed. She told me not to drink so much, and I threw up on my shirt." And the bartender's like, "No man," he goes, "stick a $20 bill in your pocket when you get home. Tell her some drunk threw up on you, and he gave you $20 to get the shirt clean." He's like, "Yeah, I like it." So he gets home, he tells his wife the story, and she goes, "There's $40 in your pocket." He goes, "Oh yeah, he shit in my pants too."
Do you cover New Orleans?
Oh, you mean in my territory?
Yeah, your territory.
What I love is the segue between guys shitting their pants when they're drunk
and New Orleans.
Hey, New Orleans!
I've taken some pretty big
cover
craps,
New
but I don't
Orleans.
think I
No,
can
I
cover
don't.
the whole town.
Joe Vaccari at Tinderbox, well now Mayan Imports, he's got some of the greatest jokes. He's got some good jokes.
You got to imagine you'd see a lot of that in New Orleans.
Shitting pants, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
That's how we determined the body was dead.
Yeah. That was the one you thought you saw?
Yeah. Well, because okay, so Josh and I were walking by, and we
I
just
had a
saw
lot of dead kids when they were growing up.
they're God.
It's sinking through the first 4 or 5 layers, so we have comprehension.
The couch it's not like an alley. It's like a regular street, and there's some dude hosing off the sidewalk, and this couch is right next to the door of the business, and there's this person on it, and their feet are like tar. I mean, it looks like they have just walked through tons of filth. And they're laying there. Josh and I are like, "Oh, man, dude, wonder what happened to them. They were just walking around drunk." And he's like, "Yeah, they might not just be passed out. They might be dead." Like, why? He goes, "Well, you know how when you die, you lose control of your bodily functions?" We're like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, there was a big stain on the pants." Like, "Oh, my God, it's a dead body," and nobody knows. So that became the whole joke in New Orleans, was we saw a dead body on the street, and nobody actually
I was thinking when somebody, I've always, every time somebody, you lose track of your bodily functions. I'm thinking, all the things I could be doing that would all of a sudden just happen.
Right.
Well, at least he enjoyed himself.
And to be fair, I mean, it's like you're dead. What do you care? Like, leave a pretty corpse.
When I was little, my mom said, you can't masturbate because your dead relatives are watching you. And I was like, who are they going to tell?
Right.
What was it? Jackie the Joke Man said, if God didn't want us to masturbate, why did he put 2 do-it-yourself kits at the end of each arm?
The daddy walks in and goes, "Son, that'll make you go blind." He's like, "I'm over here, Dad."
Over here!
Oh, yeah, we're good. Nothing beats the diet Sprite.
Nothing.
God, that's just, I can't imagine. Because I always feel like I'm going to commit suicide on a plane anyway. If I have to sit next, because I'll get the aisle seat because it's like, okay, I have extra leg room or whatever. But it's like, God, if you're bleeding over into me, it's like, please just stop. Just don't touch me. I don't want to be here. I have no leg room. I'm not happy. It's hot in here.
Yep.
Unlike you guys, I'm not looking at it as a free soda. I'm looking at it as part of my $500 ticket.
Right.
Right.
This is the most expensive soda and pretzels I've ever purchased in my life. It's true. It's Pavlovian. When the tray comes, watch, everybody's on their iPhone or something. Then all of a sudden it's...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they got... it's pretzels. It's pretzels.
Yeah, those 6 pretzels in that
Bag, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4
Would you
peanuts.
like some peanuts?
Legally, we can say plural.
Yeah, usually it's just 2 peanuts.
That's why I do, when I fly Southwest, I do the early bird. I'm guaranteed an A boarding pass. So I get a seat up front, so I'm first one on, and I'm the first one off, and I'm not standing back there waiting. Like, best $30 ever spent.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some of you have to drive.
Yep.
But look at it this way. Look at you don't have to worry about...
How much do you talk to yourself when you're driving long?
All the fucking time.
Let me ask you this.
Let me tell you something. I am boring.
But let me ask you this. How many times have you sat next to somebody trying to reach for a Diet Sprite going...
No, it's...
See, I can't even get... That's why I don't tell the story, because I can't even get the sound right.
I was driving back from I was driving back from Lubbock, I think. BFE, and I passed a sign that said, "Hay for sale." I was like, "Hay for sale? Hey, hey, hey for sale. I've got hay for an hour and a half. Hay for sale. What do gay horses eat? Hay." Just hour and a half. And I'm like, Oh, damn it!
I missed my exit, son of a bitch.
I've been driving, talking to myself. I think my lips are absolutely fucking moving.
Right.
And some guys like next to me think like something. You get into town, you're still going. I don't know the fuck that guy did that for. Why did he buy only 5 boxes when and your lips are moving, and there's a guy at a stop sign looking at you like he just did something kind of stupid, and he thinks you're cursing him out.
Right.
You're right.
You look at him, he's like, gives me this shit. I'm like, no, I'm talking to myself.
Well, it could be that you have a Bluetooth in, so,
No.
or maybe you're talking, maybe it's wired through the car, so you're talking to somebody.
I'm hoping they're thinking that because I'm having one of my many conversations.
Yeah, see, you got that now, but back in the
didn't I
old
hire
days
an
when
attorney
you,
when
when
I
you
did
had
that?
the
You're
8-track.
That kind of shit.
I could have got that guy to buy 2 boxes. I knew I could have got him to buy 2 boxes.
Fucking 2 boxes. That's $20 to me. That's crazy.
I can put that in my pocket when I throw up on myself.
Oh, that joke was hilarious.
Oh, I love Brian McGee's story about the plane. How'd it go now?
So, was it Diet Sprite or Diet 7 Up? What?
Maybe it was sex. No.
No.
Was
Was he having sex on a plane?
Come to think of it, I'm going to text my wife, have her send me a selfie. Please send me a sexy selfie. Please. Houston lonely.
At least you clarify selfie and not like, hey, send me a sexy picture, and it's like some other dude.
No, she knows what I mean.
Well, she could send you a picture of a guy she finds sexy. You can be like, no, that's not what I meant. I meant of you.
No, she knows I mean whacking material.
Okay.
You're not Jared Bioka on the road, are you?
Well.
Who?
Oh,
Tapioca.
God.
Banana pudding.
That was another story.
Wow.
Banana pudding.
Yeah. If
I
Jared's
can't
involved
see
in it.
banana pudding and not laugh now. I laugh every time I see banana pudding. Literally,
I-
start laughing.
I don't want to. No.
Yeah, I do.
No, it's a good
It's a good
Go ahead,
story.
Tell it.
This is his story.
All right.
This is Diet Sprite, but not on an airplane.
My ex-wife made my grandmother's banana pudding recipe, and it is the bomb. I mean, it is got the little wafers, the slices of banana, and the pudding. I mean, it is like sex in a bowl. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic.
So you like this banana pudding?
Oh my god!
Talking about whacking material.
I'm telling you, the bananas taste a little funny after that. But anyway, so first of all, to preempt it, my ex-wife, God love her, she used to eat a lot. She used to hang around people that ate a lot. I remember coming home one.
Plus, you told her you loved her.
That's my superpower.
That's his super. He tells people he loves them and they get big.
Just like an inflatable raft.
Did you ever go out with a woman named Karen and take her to Sizzler?
Right.
Did you?
Call back.
So I remember coming up. This is before cell phones and all that. I just came home early from work one day, and I walk in, and there's my ex-wife and one of her bigger friends, and there is a Mexican feast on the table. Covers the dining room table. I mean, tortillas and guacamole and fajita meat and this and the bowls of cheese and then sour cream and I walked in and I was like, oh man, who are you guys expecting? Nobody? Fuck.
It's a lot of food.
There was no fucking leftovers either. I'm like, what the Anyway, so flash forward, my son, who was about 6 at the time, we had Indian guys, or whatever they called them at the time. I can't say Indian because it's terrible. Terribly racist. So my wife, we're getting ready to go. We're packing all the gear, getting the boots and everything, getting the tent, and there she is making banana fucking pudding. I'm like, oh shit. I said, you're making banana pudding? Yeah, it'll be here when you guys get back. I'm like, damn. And my son reads a little bit like, oh yeah.
Did you do a song like Cosby's Kids? Banana pudding. We're having banana.
Just about, man. I mean, it was like, so we go and do the camping thing. We stay overnight in the tent, blah, blah. So Saturday night, we're done. And Sunday morning, we're starting to drive home. And I look at my son and I go, you know what's coming next, right? And he goes, what? Banana pudding. And he goes, oh yeah. Yeah. Now, first of all, I have to understand, she was making it in a bowl 16 inches around. It's a glass bowl. It's about 5 inches tall. So you can see all the wafers. So we're thinking, holy, we're just going to get a diving board. Just jump in that son of a bitch. So the whole time we're talking about banana pudding, and we're going to watch TV or watch cartoons.
Dad, remember that time we had banana pudding? It was so awesome.
Yeah, we're just thinking, oh my god. So we get home, we shed our jackets, or run, and my ex-wife has got one of her bigger friends who had spent the weekend watching TV. And it's an open floor plan. You know, the living room's right there, and the kitchen's right there. And so I go and I open up the refrigerator, and there's the bowl, the big glass bowl, and there is a serving of banana pudding the size of my fist.
A dollop.
A dollop of banana pudding.
That's all that's left.
And and I just like, I turned my head and I looked at my wife and her buddy and I said, "Which one of you bathing beauties ate all the banana pudding?" And none of them turned around.
How long were you married after that?
About 6 weeks.
I had all my wife's uncles. They come in from Houston, and large eater, but they came for Thanksgiving, and I think I ran out with the buddy to smoke a cigar. I mean, it'd been all day, and so it's like, okay, 5 o'clock, I'm good. I can now leave, go smoke a cigar, hang out with some friends. Come home, it's like, oh, now turkey sandwich time. There's no turkey.
Mm-hmm.
My wife's grandmother sent all the uncles home with the leftovers.
Yep.
It's like, no. It's like, you come to a home, you get no leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
If you put up with the people and you cook it, all the food is yours. If you brought it, you can take it back. But if it was cooked here, it is mine.
Yep. I've learned that lesson. That's what we did this year. We got the 18-pound turkey. She's like,
Yep.
we're only going to have 16 people. We should have leftovers. I'm like, no, we're getting a ham too.
Yeah.
What do we need a ham for? There's like, we're getting a ham because, every one of your freaking family that comes over is going to bring some sort of something they're going to take food home in. No, they won't. It's happened every single fucking year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're making a ham. So we get everything out on the table. Turkey's beautiful. Ham's there. Like, all the kids are getting ham. It's like, what? Like, every kid on this, you get ham. Ham first. Get ham. Like, why don't you let them get the ham? The kids all
Ham
get the ham.
only.
They're sitting at the table. Like,
Do you realize that the first Thanksgiving it was really ham?
Right. Still had a handful of turkey left at the end of it. I mean, like I said, everybody went home with leftovers. I was able to stretch it into 2 turkey pot pies.
Just say no. It's like, no, my house, my turkey. See, that's the thing where I would probably draw a line and people would be like, my God, what is his problem?
Exactly.
Like, no. When it comes to that,
I got it with the ham thing.
This is where the line's
Can they have turkey now? No.
No, ham.
I want a drumstick. Kids don't get drumsticks. Sit your ass down and eat the ham.
Have you had the ham?
Next year, make 2 turkeys.
Nah, we just
Because I fortunately had plenty of leftovers this year. So I'm still eating turkey sandwiches. And
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
all of
I
that.
ate so much this weekend. I posted it on Facebook. I was sleeping on the couch. I woke up and my family had packed sandbags around me.
They're trying to push you back in the water.
Be swell. Oh my God, it was miserable. And then they go, "Do you want some more to eat?" And like an asshole, I'd be like,
Yeah.
because I'm not dead yet. My heart hasn't completely stopped.
Yeah, because after my 2 plates, it was like, oh, apple pie. So, yeah, I think I waited like an hour and a half before 2 plates, an hour and a half, 2 pieces of apple
My
pie.
cholesterol thing is still at 500.
Yeah, but it's so worth it.
Oh, it is.
We did smoked turkey, baked turkey, and a ham.
Nice.
But it was the turkey breast, bone-in turkey
You did
breast.
the brine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the brine thing on it as well, but for the turkey. It was really good. But
At Christmas,
didn't
I'm going to
last.
smoke a prime rib.
There you go.
And then her family has a habit of bringing things that nobody wants. It's
Ugh.
like, I'm going to bring this. It's like, nobody's going to eat that. But people like it. No.
mushroom
And that's
marshmallow
what you
casserole.
get. That's what
Yeah,
you get.
and that's
left
what you
with.
get left with. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get left with 4 pies that nobody fucking wants. And
Right.
a ham.
I saw this recipe in Better Home and Gardens. I'm like, oh,
Right.
that ought to be good.
Yeah.
This is my first time trying it. I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a little toy truck.
Look,
in it. What's going on?
Thanksgiving is not the time to experiment in
No,
the kitchen.
I had that exact conversation
Sweet
with my wife.
potatoes, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, turkey, ham.
Yep.
That's it. And those rolls with the little lines on them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and corn. Don't fuck around making weird shit.
And my wife's like, got all this new weird shit. I'm like, what's all this for? She's like,
No.
it's for a new recipe for mashed potatoes. I'm like, what are you talking
What's
about?
wrong
She's
with
like,
the old
Well, I want to
one?
do this because it sounds really good. I'm like, fuck no, you're not. You're going to make the mashed potatoes you make every year. 'cause
Yes.
That's the one that you're going to make 2 of those because they're gone like the first trip around.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but I got all this. Like, we'll make that later. Make the regular mashed.
That's
like,
what I
for
did
the
this
people-
year.
Yeah.
I saw that mashed potato, bacon, cheddar ball with green onions in it.
Right.
But the part I didn't see was supposed to be made with leftover mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So I'm smoking the turkey, boil my potatoes, I butter, heavy cream, whip them up, got them sitting there, and then I'm like, so I got the cheddar blocked out, I got the green onions cut up, put in there, fried bacon, cut it up, put it in the mashed potatoes, got my beaten egg, and then I grabbed the potatoes, put the cheddar in, and And then they're like, "Oh, that's right. It's got to be left there. They won't ball up."
Yeah.
So I tried anyway. So I like put on the baking sheet. I put the cheddar and just put a blop of mashed potatoes over it. Sprinkled some bacon on it. Put it in the oven. They just went. Bleh.
Yeah.
So I just threw it all in a ball. But we had mashed potatoes with cheddar cheese and bacon in it, which turned out to be pretty good.
Next time, put it in the freezer.
Well, that's what I did, but I didn't have enough time.
And then roll it in panko and deep fry that shit.
That's what I heard I'm going to deep fry it next time.
So, being of Mexican descent,
Yeah.
was there also tamales?
There
at
was no
Thanksgiving?
tamales. I
God.
tried.
God.
I went to Mariana's.
He ate like
and
no
you had
tamales.
to order them like a week in advance. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
See, that's the thing, because in El Paso, it was like, yeah, we have the traditional Thanksgiving meal and tamales. It's like, why is that weird?
Next year I want to fry a turkey because I've never done that.
See, I've never had a
done that
fried
either,
turkey
yeah.
because everybody uses peanut oil. So I'm like, well,
Are you allergic to peanuts?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
all nuts. So it's like, well, that'd be a
That's
short
good thing
Thanksgiving.
sometimes. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
See,
No tea.
I look at it as nature and not nurture. So yeah,
You can do that to me, but I'm going to break out.
I'm gonna break out. I need an
That was one
EpiPen.
thing we didn't talk. That was one of your things on the list of guys you see in a cigar shop. Gay or not gay?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that guy.
But the funnest thing to do if you
The pat.
Yeah.
like when guys just really start kind of getting on my nerves at the shop, you just kind of toss out. It's like, statistically, 1 out of every 10 guys is gay, and then you just leave the room. Then watch them start doing this.
They're like, hey, wait a minute, there's 9 now.
It's like, yeah.